Hey, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to our mini episode update. And it's going to be about a very new movie, letting you know kind of our review of
Yep,
Army of the
yep.
Dead.
Just released on Netflix last week? Or, yeah.
Yes. Had to be last week. Yeah, I watched it like
Yeah.
last Friday-ish, I think.
Um, and if you're watching this after it's been out for a while, disregard that part. But
But still go watch it because it is a pretty cool
go
movie, I thought.
watch Army of the Dead. Okay. We're just...
Yeah, yeah. It was really interesting to me. Obviously, we are Zack Snyder
Yes.
fanboys. We do like the things that he makes. And it was weird to me seeing, it's been a long time since we've had a non-superhero Zack
Right.
Snyder movie.
Yeah, he, besides
Obviously, Dawn of the
Dawn
Dead
of the
was the first
Dead
one.
and this one, he's been doing superhero stuff. He did one animated film long time ago. Yeah,
Oh, really?
I think he did that one. It's the one with the owls.
The
Yeah,
one
I
with
can't
the
remember the
owls.
title.
He did Dawn of the Dead. He did 300, which I guess is a comic book movie, but not
Yes,
really.
it is. It's a Frank.
And then Watchmen. I mean, it, and then Watchmen and Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he's been doing DC since then.
Anyways,
Since Sucker Punch, whenever that was, we have only had superhero movies.
okay. Even though, yeah, I'm such a fan of Snyder. I really am. Like,
Yeah,
he's got an eye for making very entertaining things, and his ability to create the greatest opening credits ever is uncanny.
yeah, it's true. He's like it's like his thing. Like if he just made opening credits for other people's
Right,
movies, that
but
would be
I'd be
awesome
sad
too.
because I want to see his full vision.
Yeah,
I truly feel, man, I'm just gonna say I fucking loved Army of the Dead. I was in the theater watching it,
yeah,
laughing out loud. I'm sure the other people in the theater were probably thinking like, why is this dude laughing when people are like blowing up or being eaten? Or I'm sure they had weird thoughts.
because it's awesome. Yeah,
It's
a
such
good
a good time, and I kind of can't help but feel it's like the perfect movie right now, like to come out right now, because of how much absurdity it just embraces. Like, it just,
right.
there is,
movie.
don't even try to find metaphors, or don't even try to take everything so serious. Like, they're hyper intelligent zombies, and the leader takes after Zeus down to wearing like the robe and the cape, which I thought was hilarious. And the line is that fucking zombie wearing a cape. Like, it's, yes.
Yeah,
I had so much fun watching that movie. The whole thing.
yeah, yeah. You say, I mean, you say that there's not things to read into, but I did notice like it's also kind of interestingly, weirdly weird that it's coming out now because obviously we've been dealing with the virus for
Okay,
so
yeah.
long. There's parallels between being zombies and having an infection, and there's a line in it about like holding a temperature gun up to your head.
Okay.
And
So I'll retract most of my previous
stuff.
statement, and I will say
I guess
the
treating people
the
as
temp
sick.
gun stuff
Yeah.
and the screening and the being quarantined, even though no one's showing symptoms or
treating
showing
people like
signs
they're
of
sick.
infection.
Yeah.
That stuff all felt really funny to
Exactly.
me, and that was more
Yeah.
moment. And who knows? Snyder hasn't, as far as I know, come out to like give any kind of viewpoints on any of this stuff. And we'll save it. We
Right.
won't.
It's very possible he wrote it a
Maybe.
long time ago. I don't know.
I'm not gonna try and speculate that. I just thought, yeah, this is a good. If it's a
Yeah.
purposeful jab, which it feels like it is, awesome. If it's not, and it just happened to be like coincidence because he did write Army of the Dead a long time ago, then that's just funny. And he kind of made a like Simpsons did it moment, but with his own film. Anyways,
right. It's an interesting take on the zombie apocalypse because I've never seen a movie where like the outbreak happens and then they successfully contain it and the rest of the world just kind of goes about their life like normal. And so that was an interesting
I
thing
thought
to
it
me,
was
for sure.
kind of refreshing to see like, oh, it's not a worldwide zombie invasion. Like, yeah, like you said, they managed to contain it. I do love that it all started with a government project. Like,
Yeah. It's kind of like this may be spoilery, so if you haven't seen it, skip ahead or pause and come back. But yeah, it's like the beginning of the movie. The zombies are created like by aliens, basically. And so it combines zombies and aliens. Did you see the opening shot? Like, I didn't notice it until someone pointed it out. Yeah, I completely missed it. I was watching like the guy in the foreground and not the UFOs. And but yeah, there's aliens. The aliens are zombies. They create more zombies, and like the alpha is the super intelligent, and you get the dumb ones further down the line. But then there's also robots that are not mentioned at all. But you see zombie robots.
And you only catch them as they're being shot up. You see like the blue sparks, and they leave it at that, which I actually think was kind of a brilliant move and just helped feed more into the like, who knows if there's a limit to what Snyder's vision is right now.
Yeah, I think it adds to the like fan theories, and I don't think you have to explain it. I think it's just interesting at this point.
It's so much fun.
And then
zombies have sex. Okay, a zombie fetus. Oh my god.
That's a wild thing.
I have not seen... You should know, you don't actually see zombie mating, but there is a pregnant zombie. The queen is pregnant. I haven't seen a zombie movie, and maybe I just haven't seen enough, who knows, where they like zombies have sex. I haven't seen one since Peter Jackson's Dead Alive, when there is a zombie sex scene in that movie. Yeah. And so seeing like, oh, she's pregnant, immediately I started laughing because I was like, zombie sex. Oh my god.
Yeah. And just, it was so meaningful too. Like, it's still a better love story than Twilight between them. Zombies are better than vampires.
Sparkly ones.
Sparkly what?
Yeah, and it was crazy for me. So the opening credits come on, and I mean, whether you're a Snyder fan or not, the opening credits, they're too good. They are too good.
I thought it was a great way to like show the passing of time or show the backstory of these characters and how they work together. And
like
how
the unit of them trying to like get out of Vegas and try to rescue like whoever they could. For such a short opening, well, it's not that short, but for like an opening credit kind of montage, shockingly successful in giving you, like you said, backstory. It was very like, oh, I get it. I know exactly, like, I understand these characters. Yeah. And none of them have even spoken yet.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The zombie tiger. Okay, we went too long without bringing up the zombie tiger.
Yeah. I kept waiting for that zombie tiger to do something cool.
And it does.
Because I was like, they show it pretty early on, and it doesn't do much. It kind of pops in and out, and when it does, it pays off big time.
The zombie tiger payoff scene, that was one of the scenes where I was laughing out loud, and I'm sure that was one of the scenes that the people in the theater had to have been like, what is he laughing about? Or I hope
Yeah. This is kind
Maybe
of
they thought I
disturbing.
was, didn't like it or something. I don't know, but dude, Zombie Tiger. Like the whole time I'm watching it, as soon as it showed up, I already knew it was in there because it was a big part of the promotional material.
Yeah.
But I was
Right.
like, how has a zombie animal not shown up in more movies? Like, this
Right.
is awesome.
Yeah. Especially something badass like a
Yeah,
tiger.
yeah. I just Army of the Dead was one of those. I had so much fun watching these like super
Yeah.
strength, highly intelligent, kind of like. I mean, it really does follow like the Greek mythos of Zeus procreating,
Mm-hmm.
the queen's head. I love the queen's head.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole gag and the whole process was really good. I really like the idea of I like movies like this that kind of meld
Yeah.
genres, I guess. Like it's a zombie movie that is also equally a heist movie. I think that's just
And
a great
it's a
idea.
straight action movie too. Like it really is.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
it fire to me.
Yeah, we haven't had a great like zombie comedy action movie like this since the first
Yeah,
Zombie
it was just
movie.
I loved every minute of this movie, and I feel like it's been a little bit since I've watched a movie where I was like, yeah, I'm entertained from the very first frame to the very last. Like, I thought it was a lot of fun that he followed up his cut of Justice League, which is this 4-hour epic, very heavy film. I mean, wow. With an absurd, hilarious,
Yeah,
hyper violent zombie heist movie. I loved it. I was like, this is so much fun. And then to find out that it's like becoming a whole thing already. So he's already got the sequel that he's working on. They have an animated prequel, and then there's another prequel that's being worked on. And I'm like,
yeah,
this is nuts that the fan base was huge, was so large out of the gate for this film that Netflix was like, oh yeah, we're just go. Do it all.
yeah.
Which brings me to possibly the greatest piece of promotional material ever.
Yeah, I laughed out loud when I saw it.
Was Netflix.
With a single tweet, they completely roasted Warner Brothers to death.
Just annihilated. Yeah. How did they word it? Like, in case anyone's wondering, or I'm sure we're going to get this.
Before anybody asks, this is the Snyder cut. There isn't any other or something like
Right. And Snyder even came out and had told a whole bunch of people, like, no, Netflix is all about let the filmmaker create what they want. Like, very little studio interference. And he even laughed. Yeah, no, like, this is my movie. There was no studio, like, oh, it's too dark or too violent. It was, nope, they just let me make what I want. I thought,
Right.
shit, that might end up being Netflix's, like, big thing of just telling filmmakers, you don't want studio interference? Come make a movie for us.
Yeah, I think that that's honestly really smart. I think that they can attract a ton of talent that way. I think, yeah, you'll probably take some losses, but it's Netflix. I mean, everybody's still going to pay their subscription next month. It's not like a big deal.
I am.
Yeah, so like, the selfish part of me still really wants to restore the Snyderverse, but I also think that Warner Brothers is fucking stupid for giving up on it. So the other part of me is really happy for Zack Snyder, and I hope I like that he's out of the toxic relationship that he was in with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And I just really I'm excited for him to move on to
mean,
bigger and better things.
Warner Brothers is going under a whole new revamp construction. You saw Discovery Plus, like,
Yeah.
came
the
on
merger.
board and took control, and they've already fired some of the heads, and they're getting ready to replace them.
Yeah.
There's
I
still
heard
hope.
that AT&T might drop Warner Brothers, or I think it was Warner Brothers or HBO Max. I don't remember which. Um, but I heard that there might be up for like purchase, and that everybody's speculating that Disney might buy them and merge DC and Marvel. And I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think Disney's going to be purchasing DC. Even the Disney company has been like, no, we don't have any plans like that. They're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with Spider-Man, I think. So,
yeah, they have their own problems right now.
But with the changing of hands, there has been some legitimate talk from the Disney Plus executives of finishing the Snyderverse, of being like, no, this is clearly what the fans wanted, so maybe we should clearly do this. Now, that's speculation. I'm sure someone's going to be dumb, but
it seems like such an obvious moneymaker. That's the whole thing. But yeah, I'm excited for Zack to move on to bigger and better things, and I really like all the movies he makes.
Yeah,
like you said, he's moving on to. And he also, I saw the other day, he replied to somebody on Vero, which is like he's like one of the main pushers of Vero that nobody uses, but he posts interesting things on there, so it's the only reason I have it. But he commented on there, and he was talking about he was excited to work with like Netflix more, and he said something about how Warner Brothers didn't want him.
Yeah, and, I saw that too, where it was like, yeah, they're trying to like just cut ties completely with him. Hey, Netflix, maybe you should purchase DC.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake. I saw, I don't know if it's a Netflix project, but on IMDb, like the next thing that he's supposed to be working on is really interesting. It's an adaptation of the novel The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, which is like, apparently it's like Ayn Rand's, it's her first like literary success, and it's like all about, it seems like weird. So Zack Snyder's kind of like a punk rock director that like, not nobody, but like Hollywood doesn't get, I don't think. And so that's interesting that he would choose The Fountainhead, which is very much kind of not what Hollywood's about. For those who don't know, Ayn Rand is kind of like an anarchist, libertarian like figure. She did like Atlas Shrugged and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And The Fountainhead is about this guy who like believes in individualism and how it's superior to collectivism and all this other stuff. So it's a weird project, but I'm very interested to see what it is.
Yeah, there's one piece of trivia on the Fountainhead's page. It's interesting all the things that you just said. Yeah. So it has been severely delayed for several reasons. The Snyder Cut, Army of the Dead, and his daughter. But I guess he has recently come out and said he feels the country is too divided to make the adaptation of this, which makes me really curious to go and read The Fountainhead now. Just to see how
that's probably accurate,
how polarizing it might actually be. And if I would take it as actually polarizing. What was I going to say? Oh, did you catch? There is a non-human cameo in it. Did you catch it?
Probably not. I'm generally not very good at these things.
Okay, so
was it a zombie?
No. In the vault.
Yeah.
As they're walking in, and the camera's like.
Oh yes, I have seen a picture of this already.
Okay.
Is this so the Snyder Cut thing?
You can see the actual film reels of the Snyder Cut sitting up right by the door of the vault.
In the Las Vegas vault, yeah.
I was so happy. I had already known that those were there because Snyder had come out long ago when like it went into production. It was like, oh yeah, the cut, it's real.
Yeah, seeing those like just set of reels on the shelf is pretty darn cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I left the theater. Seeing it in the theater was such a fucking blast for me. I'm sure the people that worked there were probably thinking I was a little overly excited because I walked in like just a total doofus, all like, "Hey!"
Giddy as all can be. Yeah.
So happy. I was like a kid in a toy shop. I was perfect seating. It was so awesome. It was like when we went and saw Tenet in the theater, where it was just being back in the theater. And I'm going to tell you, this movie in the theater was really, truly the way to enjoy it. I know you guys watched it at home because it only got released in a few theaters around the country. But man, was it a blast. And it really, really kind of helped fuel, and Tenet did this to me as well, the notion of as awesome as the convenience of movies streaming with the theatrical release, the convenience is obviously a high selling point. But I'm like, movies need to be in the theater. They need to be watched in the theater.
Right. Absolutely. There's just something special about it.
Yeah. It's just, man, I had so much fun watching Army of the Dead. I was like, the one thing I was bummed about, and not to get sentimental right now, was when I left the theater, I didn't have anyone to stand in the parking lot with for an hour dissecting everything I just saw. But oh my God. I was like, I left that. I knew very quickly into the movie. I was like, oh, Jake's going to fucking love this. I was like, he's going to be so excited about this.
Yeah, it was so cool. It's really hard to go wrong with zombies and jack dudes and machine guns and aliens and robots, and it's just cool.
Yeah, and then finding out that Snyder has like a Snyderverse version of this zombie story. I'm like, man, I'm there.
Bring it on.
I'm there. Yep. I want to see the aliens. I want to see the robots. I want to see the government in cahoots with the aliens making this stuff.
I want to see him go to Mexico. The next one has to be called Day of the Dead, and he has to land during Dia de los Muertos and like infect everybody. It would be so cool.
But he can't call it Day of the Dead because that's already a follow-up to Dawn of the Dead, the original.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a thing. He made Dawn of the Dead. There's another Dawn of the Dead. Doesn't have to be related.
There's the original Dawn of the Dead, but there's also the original Day of the Dead, which has a talking zombie in it, by the way.
This is like a sequel, reboot, homage. It's like an homage, basically.
Man, Snyder and zombies. I love his version of them. I know there are some people that are still very old school zombie, like the slow, moaning kind. They're in Army of the Dead. They really are.
I like the variety. I like that they have slow, dumb shamblers, and then you have more advanced versions. I think it's interesting varieties. The slice of life, as they say.
The hyper intelligent zombie. It's so good.
The whole film. So cool.
Although we say like, there's probably going to be spoilers. I'm going to try not to, but the ending, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, very, very exciting and fulfilling ending.
Oh my God. I really, truly feel like it has been, maybe even since Tenet, I don't know, that I watched a movie where it was like, I was so excited during it and after it, and I have been thinking about it since I went and saw it. I'm just like, oh my God. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
good.
That's
accurate.
It's so good.
All right. Well, I think that's our review. The review is it's good.
It's so good.
2 thumbs way up. We need like a rating system for new movies. That's your homework. You need to come up with a rating system.
That could be dangerous considering our name.
Oh, yeah. We do say, we constantly say a movie is so good. I'm going to give it 10 so goods out of 10 so goods.
That is I like how at the start of this whole show, the word iconic was the overused phrase or word. So good.
So good.
We'll come up with an official rating system, but yeah, we're gonna stick with so good for right now.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Until next time, everybody.